Hello, and welcome to my unboxing of my brand new Ludwig Neusonic kit. 24 by 14, 9 by 13, 16 by 16 in this big ass box that I'm about to open. So, I need the knife. Hang on. Let me do this open. Ta-da! Here we are. We're gonna open this baby right up. So when I got my classic maples, they came already, like you didn't have to assemble them. I have a feeling here, well, what we have here is I have to assemble the drums. So we're just gonna start here. Over here. I hope everybody's doing okay in these COVID times. More videos on the way. Don't forget, PFOZ is cranking it out over at PFOZ. Oh baby, let's see here. Oh, I should open this up earlier. I could use this patent here. There you go. First off, let me get this. I don't want to cut my finger. I already put a gash in my thumb. So what I'm going to do is just get that out of the way. So that'll be sort of out of the way. All right. All right. So we put our packaging material. All righty. Yeah, this is how you do it. The floor tom legs, perfect, just like so. Oh yeah, get that out of the way. The floor tom legs right there. Here are the heads, 16-inch for the floor tom. These are, I can't read that. I think it says the classic maple will have American-made remos. This is, I think these are Taiwan. Doesn't matter to me. They sound good. I mean, I don't know if there's a discernible difference between the ones made in Taiwan and the ones here in the States. I'm not sure. All right, but what they are is I have a coated and a clear. Okay, so it looks like it's a. They feel. Doesn't say. They feel ambassadory. Okay, it feels like coated ambassador top, clear ambassador on the bottom. Get all the packaging material out of the way. Okay. So has everybody been playing, practicing, and jamming? Isn't it the greatest? The drums. I'm gonna set these babies up here. The bass drum heads, 24 inches of glory. Hang on. Testing. Oh, hang on. See, this is the scary part. I've opened, I'm going to tell you, I swear to God himself, had over 60 drum sets, 60 drum sets delivered to my house in the last 17 years. Because I bought them just to check out the quality and stuff and then sell them right away. I'd get a good price on them, so if there was any money on them. Like sometimes they come with hardware packs. And people didn't realize they came with hardware packs, so they wouldn't buy them. But I'd buy them, and I could sell the hardware pack and this everything, and I wouldn't lose any money. But I'd have experience on the quality of certain Tama kits, Yamaha, Sonar, and Ludwig. All right. So here is the box that contains all the hardware, right? Like the keys and rods. Okay. Now, so what I need to do is now gets me nervous. All three drums the edges are exposed. This is done by all the companies. They do this, but hang on a second here. I just wanted to, all right, let me get, here are the hoops. These are the 13-inch hoops, which I'll just put here for now. Now you gotta be very ginger getting these out, because I'm crazy careful about the bearing edge. So again, so we know the Neusonics are three plies of cherry on the inside, and 3 plies of maple on the outside. Okay. So here's the new black finish. It's very much like Black Panther. Got, I think, the black and the silver badge with the black looks so sharp. So it's looking good. Okay. Now here's the thing. You got to make sure the edges are good. Okay. I have to make sure. The bearing edges. Look at how thin. Look at how thin that shell is. All right, the edges look good. The edges look good. I got a keynote. I can't see anything. mean, I'm telling you, I'm tired and my hip is hurting. I have to take my freaking Metamucil. You know what hang on, I gotta get my glasses. Hang on, can't see it. Damn, hang on. All right. Ow. From here, get that out of the way so I don't walk into it. All right, let's take a look. Nice thin shells, yes. These are made in the United States by Ludwig factory people. Okay, we'll put that right there. That's a 9x13. Now I'm going to take out this great packaging I wish I had earlier today because I just shipped them. I've been selling stuff on eBay, Kingish, Kingish, but they've used all this packaging material. Here are the 16-inch hoops. These are 2.3 mil. Which I do like on tom-toms. The 1.6 I like on the snare drums, generally. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let me get this out. Okay. Again, I gotta look at the bearing edge. You gotta make sure these edges. So 3 inner ply cherry, 3 outer ply maple. God, nice and thin. These are like Thomas Star classic. God, these drums sound so good. So here it is, check it out. So there it is with the badge. Look at that, doesn't the silver badge look great with the black? Oh my God, yes it does. All right, so, all right, so what I'm gonna do, I just have to be careful with this stuff. So thank God they gave me this, because then I feel comfortable now setting it down. Set it down. Very gingerly. We're gonna the bass drum. It's the bass drum time. Alright? And here it is. Get this bag out, which comes with handy. Here's some packaging material. Alright, the 24-inch bass drum. Okay, this is how they do this with the hoops. So it looks great. Now it looks funky here because they have a thin layer of plastic on here that you have to peel off, which I'm not going to do right now. That dog is barking. All right, so here we go. We take out some of the packaging material. How was everybody? I did a live chat today for the first time. I'm going to bring back the live chat. Bring back the live chat. All right, hang on. Let's get start rolling around this here. All right, so I'm going to do how this always works. And you get the kit that you have to assemble, which is no big deal. It just takes a little time. And I'm not kidding. I've had over 60 drum sets here where I've done this exact process. Billions of times. Okay. Checking out the bearing edges. Okay. Okay, hang on. Looking good. Looking good. Go like this. And this is 24 by 14, a magical depth. Perfect for bottom stuff. You know, 24 is a little more manageable. And you can really get the same boom and woomph as you do on the 26. It's all in the tuning. Alright, so that's it. It looks great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble this. Okay? Now what you can do sometimes, I would advise to do this when stuff does come, it's not a bad idea to tighten, to make sure everything's tight on the shell here. Oh, hang on. Let me get this guy out. All right, but I'm selling a lot of stuff. I just need more room in my studio because I want to interview people. I want to be an interviewer in addition to making the same videos of me teaching stuff and jamming and everything else. Okay, so hang on a second. What I do have to do, I don't want to run out of juice in my camera, but what'll happen is something died under my porch. It reeks. All right, so hang on. So this will come off real easy like. So you got to see. Oh, here we go. See? All right. So hang on. So there's very much this is like popping the packaging material. You get like the same, it's like picking your nose. No, but that same sort of like, if you can do it just so, look. But this is kind of a pain in the rectum though, I must confess. Because the plastic that is on here is very thin. And the plastic was on there when they, I think, cut. So I'm gonna go a little slower here. And I might cut out, so it'll cut me out of going through, just because I do want to get this all out. But the part of the thing is the plastic is not just on the outside, but it's on the inside too. It's in here. So I'm gonna have to burn up some time by doing that. Okay, hang on. All right. So, alrighty. So I haven't been playing much. I didn't play much the last 3 months. I've been working on my technique on the pad. I really want to get my left hand, as I've always been talking about, since the 50s, since I first started the channel, get my left hand properly into the ball game. Again, remember we have Bottomology on YouTube with George Flutis. My friend Ryan at Vintage Drummer, who you gotta check out and subscribe to. It's Vintage Drummer. His name is Ryan Jurovic. That came right off. Thank the Lord. Some sort of a little white mark. All right. So I'll edit this out. This is like, you know what this is like? This is like peeling skin off after you've had sunburn. That's exactly what this is like. I haven't had sunburn. I'm afraid of the sun now. I think it's like a microwave. I want to be Bob Melanoma. Marco Melanoma. All right, hang on a second. I didn't mean to say that. Disrespect. All right, so, all right. This is unbelievable. You know, they do the same kind of stuff with the plastic, even when they build big buildings. Remember when I was down at the Merc, across the street was the UBS building. And it had like big shiny stainless steel paneling that had this stuff, and it was blue. And it's funny, the building would first look blue, and then after they assembled it, then they took all the blue plastic shite off it. All right. Okay. All right, it's looking good. Get that off. Get that off. Okay. Now the problem is, though, as I've said, see, here we go. This is all right. What I might do are get 24-inch regular hoops and put a silver inlay in. You know what I mean? I think that'd be really cool, like a classic maple. But for now, I'll just use these hoops. All right. So what I'm going to have to do, though, now is get it off the inside. For crying out loud. Hang on. All right. Oh, the inside's coming right off. This is nice. Yeah, well, more or less. I just jinxed it. Oh, there it is. So we got that off. I love that sound. It goes. Hear that? All right. Getting there slowly but surely. But see, I want to demonstrate how you can put this together real fast. And it'll be a little more of a tuning video, too. Even though I have tons of tuning videos, I'll show you how I tune the drums. It's very easy. It's a simple method that yields great dividends, as Bob Ross would say. The late Bob Ross, God love him. All right. So here's that hoop. Here it is. Okay. How does it look? Looks good. I'm telling you, it's like Black Panther. It's pretty cool, I reckon. Although I prefer the shiny black. I have the 2012-14, the 22-12-16. If anybody has a 9x13 original Neusonic black, please let me know. I'd like to purchase it. All right, so here's this. So we have this guy. Okay, put that right there. I have to do this to this hoop, okay? So smoke them if you got them. We'll see in a couple minutes. All right. Get this out of the way. All right. Okay, so now I gotta get the inside. On the inside, and then as soon as we're done with that, I'm gonna get to work. I'm slapping this bad boy together. We make beautiful music together. There it is. Right inside. Right. Yeah. Inside. All right, here we go. Rocking. We're good. My phone. Oh, the phone's recording. So here we are. We got it right here. So what I'm going to do real fast, I'm going to just get a paper. Nice. It's very nice. This is a 9 by 13, which is very nice. I'm going to set that there briefly. Wait. And that, as long as it's semi-stable. It's going to be semi-stable. Alright. So what I'm going to do is, it's always good, like I said, to make sure all the inner screws are tight. So I'm going to get me a screwdriver. Guy right here, okay? See that? I'm going to not pull and break my head open. Start on the 13. Oh yeah, no, this stuff is tight. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's no worries here. Oh yeah, these are on. Oh wait, the bass drum possibly. Yeah. So I just double check here. Just make sure everything is, because that just happens sometimes. I've noticed something might leave the factory, it just might be a little loose. And I've noticed that on all the drums. Tama, Pearl, Premier. In you? So let me just put this one in here for now. Take care of the bass drum. Don't forget bonzolium@gmail.com. Bonzolium@gmail.com. If you have any drum questions, I do teach lessons on bottom stuff and beginnery stuff. You know, just basic thingies. As you know, I'm not the chops wizard. Okay, so I'm just making sure going around. So do this. If you get a new kit and you have the opportunity, just make sure your stuff is tight. Okay. It takes just a minute. It takes but a minute. Alright. So on these, the Neusonics, when they offer the 24, 13, 16, and then change the 22-inch bass from to 14, and change the colors around. I don't think you can't get aspen white anymore, and I don't know if you can get the blue. I think maybe, I don't know. But they have this kind of Black Panther-y looking stuff versus the shiny black. But what they did was they changed the legs. They put the bass drum legs. They put the elite bass drum legs on, which is good. Although I kind of like the low mass original ones on the Neusonics. They had just two positions, folded up and then down. So again, this seems like it might. I know it's kind of boring, but this is important to do. Just make sure your stuff is properly tight. Okay, it's a really good idea. Again, comment on it all. I've bought and assembled kits that were Tama, that were Sonor, that were Pearl, that were Ludwig, that were Yamaha. I have a list of all the stuff I bought just to check the quality out so I know what I'm talking about. So any drum set, if I know what I'm talking, I can assure you I had one here and I assembled it and I played it and the whole package. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up this box. That's heavy. It has all the shite. All right, okay, so here are, oh, they gave me one of these guys. Look at that. I'm not gonna use this. I'm gonna buy myself a, I think an arch mount, or I'll put on my favorite late 50s, early 60s 4-post Ludwig rail consulate that is removable, that has the stove bolts. I might do that with this too, but I'm not sure. All right, here are the mounts. Floor tom. There's 4 of those. 1 on the rack tom. Okay, so here, this is what here's some extra things. Oh, they gave me, oh, see, this is cool now. Ludwig does it too. Oh, they give you extra screws in case something's funky. Oh no, wait. Well, they do that sometimes. They do that with Premiere. But these are the screws to put on the brackets. Okay, here are the claws and the rods. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say which is which. This is the batter. Okay, make sure you get that right before you spend a lot of time putting this on. Because if you put it on wrong, you're going to put it on wrong. Okay. So I'm debating on whether or not I want to put this on. You know what I want to do? I want to put newspaper. I don't have any newspaper. Son of a bird. I don't have any newspaper. I'm going to put some cut up newspaper in this. I'll do that in another video. Let me see something though. So this is the factory head that came. It's kind of like a Evans. You know, it has this ringy thing, kind of like what Bonham had on his kit. Although Bonham's, I'm not sure if it was a Ritchie ring, or again, George and I, Billy and Ryan, we're not sure if this was added, something like this, or just the ring was added. We have other videos on that. But let me just check out real fast. Stand by. My supply of 24s. This is 22. That's a 22. Stand by. Oh yeah, hang on. We got it now. So what I'm going to do, I sure hope this is a 24 and not a 22. I forgot. It's a 22. Alrighty. So what we're going to do, son of a bastardo. So for now, what I'm going to do, forgive me for wasting time, I'm going to put on this batter, okay? This is like an Emperor that also has this ring. So it's like, what do they call those? What did Evans used to call those? Remo. The power stroke. All right, so I'm going to put this on. Okay, on the batter side. See, this is nice. The shell's like very slightly undersized, which is wonderful. So put that on there. Okay, so I grab a hoop. And this is the batter side. Why did I get my paper towel? Yeah, well, I can just use my spit in my fingers. This looks good. Again, I might buy some hoops with inlays and put silver sparkle. Let's put that on for now. Hang on. Okay, so you get that on, and then what you do, and here you go. See how I just did that? I put the head on with the Ludwig logo aligned straight up and down with the badge, and then I got the hoop on. So this is what you do. Yo. Open it up. Oh God, my fingers. Put those babies right on here. Okay. There. Get the base, get the rods. What we have here are the rods. So they're key rods. They're not the other type of rods that are, you know. These are cool now. What they do is they have, the washer isn't allowed to fall below the threading, which is nice. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna do this as fast as I can. So what I do is you just put it in the hole. Testing. And just kind of get it just kind of in there for now. What I'm doing is just sort of, so my goal now is just to get them in. Sorry, I was gonna sneeze. Right, so I gotta do this fast because we're gonna run out of juice, man. I don't wanna run out of juice. I don't wanna run out of juice, so we gotta do this fast. I gotta get my ass in gear. Okay? Okay, just getting that in there like that. Going around. So I hope everybody has had a good summer. Fall is coming. PFOZ hopefully will be playing live gigs. Going from city to city. I'm serious. And Ty is slaying it with those guys. There really should be a documentary on the PFOZ to show you there's so much talent behind George laying down the rhythm bed, the drums. And he sits there and he plays that in his head. There's sometimes he'll play longer, like a studio recording, but other times, or maybe a live thing, but other times he just makes it up. He's like, all right, I'm gonna do like a 1972 immigrant song that has the best of both, and he sits there and he just will sit and sing to himself and play for 15 minutes. And then he sends that up to Pete, who throws the bass on it. I mean, that takes some talent. That takes some skill and some talent and some love for Led Zeppelin. You know what I mean? That is all George. God, if somebody said he put a couple in the past couple months, you know, he's done like, he did the Osaka show, like he's done full shows where he plays along with Zeppelin, these bootlegs. That's some talent. It's also some skill. It's also some endurance. It's a lot of things. Okay, so now I have right now all 10. Okay, oh no, wait up. Stand by. Okay, so right now what I'm doing now, they're all just sort of on there, right? So I'm looking to make sure that it looks even between the outer collar, that doesn't look like it's sitting just a little askant. So I'm gonna make sure that everything is even between the edge of the bearing edge and the you know, there's like just a little gap there. So what I'm gonna do is I go around with my hands. This is how I always do it. I finger tight, okay? Righty tighty, okay? Going around. Righty tighty. Righty tighty. Righty tighty. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. So what I'm going to do in here, they did give me a Ludwig key. You know the classic Ludwig key since like the late 60s, early 70s? You know the key. I'm going to show it to you while I check the power. Oh, okay, so I don't want that to fall. You know, the key, this key, that key. Look at that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just go around with the key with my hand. See, now sometimes what happens is when you have a new set of drums, sometimes there's a little bit, it kind of gets locked up, like it sort of doesn't, it stops, you're not able to do it with your fingers. You know, it's not necessarily flush yet. The rod, there's a little bit of thing there. So what you have to do is you have to go, make sure everything is as close as possible with your fingers. As tightly as possible. And then what you do is you carefully then go with the drum key. So what I'm doing now, there's a little bit of space between, I'll show you right now. Here we go. It's just, because you know what I'm saying? So what I was saying before, hang on. What I was saying before, was making sure here that there's the same amount of space. See that little light there? goes around, and you want that to be equal all the way around. So, but what I'm saying about see how there's a space there, see? So the edge of the rod, there's about 1/8 of an inch before it touches, and it won't let me do it with my fingers. That's very common on new drums. I've encountered that on all the new drums. So what I'm gonna do is, let me just set this here for now, just for a sec. Okay. I'm going to take my drum key that I just showed you, that I don't know what I just did with it. Oh my God, I'm telling you. I'm such a skull. Put it in my pocket. You know what? Can we rewind the tape and see what I just did with that freaking drum key? I gotta tell you, man, I would forget my head if it wasn't sewn onto my body. For crying out loud. Oh, hang on. Just time out. Hang on. Time out. Time out. Bastard. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring the... Anyway, but I showed you that, okay? So it's common. You'll see that space, that little space between the head. And so this will normally, under normal circumstances, I would close that space with my fingers if this was a more broken in drum set. And it happens with all, from my experience, drum kits I've had. It just kind of just seizes up and then you gotta use the key. But when I find the key, because I don't know what I did with the key, let me set this back here. Oh, where the key? What happened with the key? All right, so I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna get the key. I'm also gonna plug some power into this thing. You know what I mean? Okay. I have returned. Ouch. 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 Yeah. I have to move this. I'm gonna move it this way just a little for the power cord. Hang on. I don't mean on a guitar. There. Now we're getting power. Let me see how that looks. That's good. Alright, so now we have power so the camera won't die. Now I'm going to run and get one more thing, which is very cool. You'll really enjoy it. I am back. I have returned. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. You ready? Check this out. So instead of the factory reso head, I'm going to put on a different reso head. Okay? Are you ready? This is the reso head that I am going to put on. Isn't that cool? Check that out. They look familiar? This is the 26 thermal head, except this is a 24. It's the 24 version. So that's what's going on the reso. But until then, let me get the key. It's on here the whole time. I'm gonna go around with my glasses and just make sure. I'm gonna just turn that down to where it becomes flush. You just kind of have to do that. It goes flush, that gap disappears, and the key rod lands right flush with the washer and the claw. Right? It's a feel you get. Remember how, and I've also said that when you tune, use your thumb and your screw U finger. You push with your thumb and pull. So this is what it's like. You don't notice it really this way, but it's the thumb pushing and the screw U finger pulling. And then you get used to the tension And there's kind of an art to tuning. So let me get this around. It's flush. Hang on. I mean, ultimately, you really don't have to do this. Okay. I can't see anything. Make sure I'm not showing my crack and rolling. Okay, that one. Okay. And now this one. These drums smell like Home Depot's lumber. So I'm gonna make sure. Okay, right now they are flush. Okay, so what you do, it's that simple. I should have poured it up, but take these babies. Remember how I said in all the other tuning videos, put your hand right in the middle, and you'll see it wrinkles in. There's nothing but wrinkles, wrinkles all over. So you make sure you check that space, it's even, right? Okay, make sure nothing looks, these don't look a little this way or this way. You want them straight up and down. Pushing that down now. What I'm going to do is just going to get the wrinkles out. Okay. Okay. Here's a wrinkle. Take this wrinkle out. And this wrinkle out. There's that wrinkle. And this wrinkle out. There's that wrinkle. Sometimes it's hard to see when you have the O-ring. Sometimes the O-ring will be a little slack and you can't tell if you're getting the wrinkle out. Okay, there's the wrinkle there. Still pushing down here. Wrinkle's gone there. The wrinkle's gone there. And the wrinkle's gone there. So I'm pressing it down a little more. I don't necessarily, hang on a second. Let me go around this a little more. See, that's kind of the nature of these heads. And so I'm going to put on probably maybe see, right now what I'm doing is I make sure the wrinkles are gone. Pushing down real hard here and make sure the wrinkles are gone. Okay, this is just a place to start. So now the wrinkles are gone. There it is, and you leave it. And if you happen to have a head like this one, this is the coolest thing in the world. Look at that. It's the John Bonham 1969 special. All right, and I have a 26 like this too. They're very nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on. Where's the top of the door? Okay. So this reminds me of when I had to drill my reissue. Now I'm going to point something else. You see that? You see that? I got to show you this. Okay. Oh God, I missed that. Okay. See, isn't that cool? And then, but look at down here. Look at this. See that? That's what was on Bonham's blue ink. Look at that. This is a perfect repro. I got this from the man who does repros. All right. So I'm gonna put this on the reso. Okay. The reso head. See how it floats? Okay. So I'm gonna do. You want to make sure, of course, that this aligns right up with the bottom. What I'm going to do, put that right there. Just a minute. I need the stability of that. Bring that around. All right, so again, I just got to make sure. I mean, it's no problem to change it, but I got to make sure that this Ludwig is perfectly aligned. So unfortunately, what I do have to do is I got to turn it this way, so I can look straight down while I do it. All right, so I'm gonna get the other hoop like this. Here we go. Make sure there's not any little pieces of plastic still on there. All right, put that on. Okay, here it is. Little undersized, it's beautiful. All right, that's nice. Okay, so now we go right back to the T's and claws. I don't have T's, but I do have claws. All right, here we go. Applause. All right, so here we go. Again, same process around. With the rods. Here they are. There's 10 rods in here. There better be. So you can try to do this a little quicker. What I'll do is I'll just hang. What I can do is sometimes you can do that. You just hang it. See what I'm just doing? I'm just hanging it there temporarily. Kind of save a little time. Little assembly line action. For Halloween is coming, everybody. Isn't that awesome? I love when Halloween comes and the original Halloween is on. The original Halloween, John Carpenter, is a masterpiece. You can see like scenes where you can see cigarette smoke coming into the shot because John Carpenter himself was holding the camera and the cigarette he was smoking while he was filming gets in the shot. You knew? All right, so here we go. So you have here they are. They're all kind of just lined up like birds on a post. Okay, so I'm going to go around real fast. Just get these in there. You know what I mean? Just kind of get them in. Get them in. Mosquito. Again, just screwing these guys in. And the goal here is to get the head, or the key rod, the bottom, here's the rod, but here's the head, flush with the claw on its own, as much as possible. Okay. Follow my cranium. So now I go around with my fingers, make it finger tight. Finger tight, and I will at a later date change the batter head from this PS3 power stroking thing to a coated or maybe honestly a clear emperor. I do love a clear emperor. And then put some newspaper in there, just some strips of newspaper to where it comes up maybe just halfway between, probably like you fill it about maybe a quarter of the way of the shell, if you had to quote it that way. Okay, so here we are. Sorry about the delay. Okay. So you go around and make sure you close the gap between the head of the rod. There it is. So we're almost done here. This is a 10 lug bass drum. I think the 20 also might be a 10 lug as well. Okay, that's flush. Let's get this guy. Again, making sure that we're straight all the way around. That gap is about the same. Okay, so now I'm going to put my... Did you hear that? Hey, oh my God, you gotta hear that. It's like, uh-oh. Hang on a second. You gotta hear that. Here, listen. Sorry, you gotta check this out. Ready? Sorry, here, listen. It's Wheezy Joe from Intolerable Cruelty. Great movie, Coen Brothers, if you've never seen it. All right. So really, listen, maybe I don't know if you can hear it from there. All right, so the point is, I push down and get the wrinkles out, okay? Use my left hand. I don't want the shadow. And that wrinkle is out. Hard to see the wrinkle with this light. Okay, now here's the bass drum. I'd walk it up there if I wasn't afraid of busting my head open. All right, so I'm gonna lift this out of the way. Floor tom next. The floor tom. I'm going to use the batter. I'm going to use the heads that came with it. Well, first thing I got to do is I got to put the brackets on. And what you do with the brackets, it used to be that you put them on with a key, a drum key. I don't know if we still do that. I think we do another screwdriver. Huh. Well, I better have my screwdriver handy. Yeah, all right, what do I do with the, there it is, it's right there. Now I can't remember if it, does it go up or does it go down? Oh no, which way here? I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. Get the bracket with the screws. All right, I love that smell. The last one. So finger tightish, and then you go around with the screwdriver. I want to say my other Neusonics, I have the 20, 12, 14, the 22, 12, 16. Instead of having a screwdriver to torque those on, use a drum key. It had a drum head key. Just tighten these babies up. Alrighty, my back is killing me. Getting these babies on. Not crazy over the top tight, but tight enough. So what I'm going to do real fast is I do have to make sure I don't think I checked the floor time screws. You don't have to worry about the bearing edges. You kind of treat it a little rough here. It's okay, it's just cardboard. The bearing edge is stronger than cardboard. Real quick, flip it over real fast. Real fast. The other side. God, these are beautiful drums. And this is it. Alright, so now, what I do, just like I did with the bass drum head, This is the top, this is the batter. I'm going to use the heads that came with the kit. They're Taiwan Remo. From my experience, I found them to be fine. So I'm going to put this baby. So what I always do is I use the logo for a little, because you notice on a bass drum or a floor tom, you'll always have two brackets that have one panel separating. Okay, so bracket and then bracket. But the other one has two. Okay, so the point is I then will put the logo where the one that is in the center, like the outlier, because in that way, so when I sit and play the drums and I set it up, this is what it'll look like. The Ludwig will be at the 12 o'clock noon with that one bracket, and then these other lugs, or floor tom brackets are at like the 4:30 and the 7:30. All right, so let me just get that on. The 16-inch hoop. Testing. Here it is. Okay, so hang on. So now I'm going to get these rods. Okay, here they are. They're the floor tom rods. So I'm going to try doing this quickly. As quickly as possible. Okay. So, smoking if you got them. Doing the same thing here. Putting them in. I'm going to do finger tight. Right now I'm just feeding them in. Just getting a little bit in. So I just want to get the rods just good to go here. I'm dying of thirst. I'm gonna get some water. I'd kill for some Oreos. That's enough. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna finger tighten these guys, okay? You know, this drum, when compared to the bass drum, does get nice and flush. It doesn't seem to have that stubbornness. All right, so what I'm going to do is just go around, make sure you look straight down and make sure each rod is perfectly straight. Not that there's any tilt. Good, they are. All right, so finger tight. Okay, so what I'm going to do. The wrinkles, okay? See the wrinkles in the drum key. Okay, so you just get the wrinkles out. 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 So just for now. I'm gonna get the bottom head out now. The Rezo head. Again, ad nauseum, the exact same process with my fingers. Before I start finger tightening, I just make sure things look straight, that the hoops are straight up and down, as they are. So now I start doing the finger action. Finger tight. Finger tight. It's hard to do sometimes when there's a lot of grease. In older drums, you have a lot of grease, so sometimes when doing this, you have to wash your hands a couple times. You don't because you don't want to handle anything with that crankcase grease all over your freaking. All right, so here we go. Get the wrinkles out, just like that. Double check, I'll push down. I don't see any wrinkles. So now I'll do, take our floor tom leg. And last but not least, the third. Now we just have the 9x13 rack tom to do. Voila, the floor tile. Looking again for wrinkles. Don't see any. Just stand it out for a minute. Alright. The 9x13 at last. I'll put its bracket on. Torquing it on, not too hard. And you want it tight. I can't remember if did I check the 9x13 tom lugs? I think I did. Just in case. You can't be half-assed. I'm gonna have to take the time, the extra couple minutes, just to triple check. You know, just in case. Better safe than sorry. And again, I've seen this on all manufacturers sometimes. But these are good. These are all good. Okay. Get the bottom. I'll flip it over and make it down. And my back. Oh boy. I can't talk real loud because it's like 11:30 at night. That's why I can't play these right now. We'll play them soon enough when I get the newspaper in there. Okay. We got the bracket is on. Here we got the bracket on. Okay. So, use the factory heads. This is the bottom, okay? Put it right on, nice and floats. Grab the of the 13-inch hoops. Again, this is a 2.3er. I do like the 2.3ers on other drums. It's not necessarily snare drums. So I'm gonna get these rods, which are shorter. And again, I'm gonna do the same thing, finger tight all the way around. It's boring, but it's the only way to do it. Again, so I'm gonna make sure, again, I'm looking down at the eyelet where like this, if you're looking at the hoop, the eyelet where the screw goes in, you wanna make sure that that is perfectly aligned with the lug below it. So finger tight. Finger tight. Everything looks aligned perfectly. Grab the key. Push down in the middle. Get the wrinkle out. The wrinkles are out. Flipping it over. We're almost done. All right. Last thing to do here. What I'll do, this will be mounted like this, right? So I'll just put I've considered this to be the 3 o'clock at the mount, so then I'll put the Ludwig at the 12. That's just what I do. It's just easy when you're setting it up. You're like, oh, I'll put, I don't know. So then I need this. Okay. What I'm going to do is make sure it's lined up, remember? This turns a little, because just make sure it's lined up with the lug. Finger tight. Lined up with the lug, finger tight. Finger tight. Here we go, that's finger tight. Now this is, we're at the last step here. Get the wrinkles out. Wrinkles out. Get the wrinkles out. Get the wrinkles out. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to tighten, I'm going to tune these up because I can't do it now. It's too dark out. I mean, it's too late. Okay, so look at that. 9 by 13. There's a lot of packaging left over here. Thanks for watching the video. This is me. It's nighttime, so I can't be all rambunctious. But hang on. Time out. I'll show you one last shot of the baby. Look at that. That's cool. Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the bell notification next to the subscribe button if you can. More content coming. Remember, my email address is bonzolium@gmail.com. So I do Zoom lessons, and I also have some merchandise, some Bonzolium 2A sticks, as well as a coffee mug, and t-shirts. And don't forget Bonamology here on YouTube, and PFOZ, People's Friend of Zeppelin, as well as Ryan Jervik's Vintage Drummer. I'm just self-conscious about the noise here. I want somebody to throw a rock at me. Till soon. Don't forget, I'm selling stuff on eBay. Kingish. Be well, keep playing. Thank you.